To inspire our film and give us ideas about the sort of different characters we want to create, we looked at a variety of different thrillers with a range of different characters and storylines. Firstly, we looked at Reservoir Dogs. We like this as the film was based around the antagonist characters and follows their gangster lifestyle and plot. Looking closer at the individual characters, we liked the way each gang member had something to bring to the gang and how it helped with their tasks. Specifically, we like the way all the members go by anonymous names, such as things like Mr. Orange and Mr. Blonde, and manage to complete tasks by working with complete strangers, as well as how they act. We also like the look of the characters. The smart suits give them a professional, serious look to the film, as well as looking good on screen. To contrast the film, we then looked at an American TV show called The Following. Rather than opening on the antagonist like before, we meet ex-agent Ryan Hardy and how he comes back into business when a case he used to work on comes back. Joe Carroll, a huge novelist author who killed 14 women before being imprisoned, spent years creating a cult to commit murders to help Joe achieve his main goal of getting revenge on Ryan Hardy. We specifically looked at the character Ryan and the way his character interacts and clashes with the antagonist Joe Carroll. Ryan Hardy comes across as a serious businessman with a love for his job, however, other sides are seen to him throughout the series, like his weakness for his family, which shows him in a more human light, and which is something we want to consider putting into our thriller film, as it reveals a whole background of emotion and storyline behind the character. Again, to contrast from what we already watched, we then watched a film from 2001 called Donnie Darko. This had completely different characters from the other two, and this film focused on a troubled young boy at school who is haunted with visions of a large rabbit that manipulates him into committing a series of crimes after he escaped a near-death experience when a plane jet falls into his bedroom. The story opens on Donnie as the protagonist and his family. However, later on we soon realise Donnie is also the antagonist to himself, with these figures of his imagination causing him to sleepwalk and commit crimes. Next, we looked at James Bond. James Bond is widely known all around from the smallest things and can easily be identified with the films. Specifically, we looked into the way James Bond is presented in these films, his costume and his appearance. The smart suits are one aspect that identify him well and make him brand recognisable, as his strong accent and put together persona as well. These things we want to consider when putting our characters in film together. And finally, we looked at the film's source code. This focuses on the protagonist again waking up in someone else's body to find out he's part of an experimental government to help find a bomber of a commuter train with only 8 minutes to do it. We liked the personality a lot of the main character and how he went about his tasks he was given and the courage he has. He finds a solution for every problem quickly and does everything in his possible power to complete the task he has to do. This is a good aspect and personality trait to have in a protagonist and something we need to consider when making our film.